my channel. This is Anastasia here with this week's Teen Mom Recap. I actually have a question for you guys, and that is if you like my backdrop, the silver glitter. I feel like I kind of want to get a new one soon, so if you have any suggestions for that, go ahead and comment down below. And before I get started, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I post new videos every single week about Teen Mom OG, Teen Mom 2, and any news going on in the Teen Mom world. If that sounds interesting to you, go ahead and subscribe. And anyway, let's go ahead and get started. This episode of Teen Mom OG starts with Macy. She's still suffering from the effects of being in the middle of the shootout. When her kids popped a balloon, it was enough to trigger her PTSD, and she's been having dreams about guns. Taylor says, "I can be there for you all I want, but I'm not a therapist, so maybe you should see one of those." Next is Cheyenne. She says, "I call this meeting to order." Her and her sister and her friend decide to start a podcast, like every other person this year, apparently. Imagine listening to Cheyenne's grating-ass baby voice vocal fry for 2 hours straight. You ever heard the saying, some people have a face for radio? I will add to that and say that some people, like Cheyenne, have a face for Instagram, but not a voice for radio or video. Cheyenne starts flatly talking about BLM, really sounds like she's reading off a script. We need to solve this problem in our communities. It's like, bad. Whenever I post about racial injustice, I get so much hate and judgment. Yeah, that's probably because you have tweets talking about, and I quote, killing white babies, wanting to kick white kids, and being a Nazi lover. And then when confronted with that information, you pretended that it wasn't your Twitter account, even though it had your name and your picture on it, and didn't apologize or take any accountability, and weren't fired from MTV despite the fact that Taylor was fired for similar reason. And now you want to act like you care about racial injustice. That's probably why, Cheyenne. That's probably why you're getting hate messages. Leah's birthday is this week, and Gary asks her what she wants to do and who she wants to invite. Well, my cousins, my friends, you and Christina, of course, my pets, my friends' pets, my friends' cousins and their pets. And your mom? No, actually, I don't want my mom there. We don't have a bond. In 12 years, she hasn't done anything. That's Christina's spot. Sad, but 1000% true. You should have a relationship with her, Leah. Why? I'm just a third wheel to her. You're right, she didn't always take care of you, but sometimes she did. Yeah, Gary, that's kind of the point. She's a mom when it's convenient for her, which is hardly a mom at all. You really can't blame Leah for seeing things for what they are. But Leah's sweet. She says, I guess maybe she can come to the family party. So Gary texts Amber the invitation. Some of Mackenzie's friends are not happy that Josh is there with her. Mackenzie says they can think what they want, but if I could clear everything in my brain, Josh, I would still choose you. Why do I get the feeling there's already a lot of free space in her brain? Anyway, Josh is temporarily leaving to do a drywall job in Oklahoma. Since Josh has the personality of drywall, I can only imagine that this is a highly enjoyable job for him. He promises to come back to Florida right after the job, but Mackenzie isn't so sure. Next is Kate and Tyler. But Kim comes over, and they mostly talk about Tyler's sister, Amber Baltiera. She says Amber's daughter, Alexis, stopped talking to Amber because she's drinking again. By the way, Tyler says, drinking? Like beer? Alcohol? No, Tyler, Capri Suns. Alexis just can't stand when her mom has artificial sugar. Anyway, this is very ironic that both Ambers are trash moms and their kids are almost the same age and have realized their mother's garbage status at the same age. I feel like there's some sort of trashiness kinship there. Anyone else hoping for an Amber squared friendship that eventually devolves into an Amber versus Amber fight? I'd love to see it. Kim wonders why Amber doesn't even live near her daughter. It's been 3 years and she made no effort. And she says it's exactly the same thing that Butch did back in the day. Tyler then starts having war flashbacks of Butch's abandonment of him. Next is Cheyenne. She's annoyed about the negative feedback that she gets when she posts about BLM. Anytime I remind anyone I'm black on social media, they get mad. Yeah, that's not why. I'm pretty sure they always knew you were black. As I said earlier, it's probably because they think it's hypocritical that you say Black Lives Matter, but you refuse to acknowledge that you said you wanted to kill white babies. And apparently MTV refuses to acknowledge it too. Great job, guys. Cheyenne's dad agrees to do Shy's podcast with her, which is great because that's less time that you'll have to hear Cheyenne's voice. Macy's kids are being extremely loud and it's triggering Macy's PTSD from the shooting. Taylor sees that she's stressed and he calls Macy's friends to do a surprise girls' night out. He even agrees to watch her friends' kids while they're out. Macy, you need to keep this man forever. Mackenzie's friends come to visit. They're like, okay, what's our plans? Let's go. Mackenzie says, you guys can eat, sleep, nap, poop, whatever you need to do. Wow, vacay vibes, Mackenzie. You're supposed to entertain your friends. They just flew out from Oklahoma to see you. They're not kids in your daycare. Anyway, they go to a park and they ask how Josh has been. He's working, but Mackenzie has no idea when he's coming back. Don't worry, if Josh is actually working over there, won't be long till he's back. Amber's producer calls her and asks if she's going to Leah's party. Amber is a rambling ass mess here. I really can barely comprehend what she's going on about. She says, I like to do things off camera with my daughter. Now there's a hibachi chef coming to her party, and I just feel uneasy and odd. Once Leah stops making excuses to see me, we'll get along, but for now, I want my own space if it's gonna be like that. Hold up, what? She's not coming to the party because there's a hibachi chef? Am I hearing that right? Okay, you like to do things with her off camera. That's fine, but like, ¿por qué no lo dos? Just do both? Go to the party and hang out with her off camera? You can do both, Amber, but no, you choose to instead miss out on yet another important event in your daughter's life because you're bitter and lazy. Sad. Gary tells Leah that Amber isn't coming, and Leah is not too torn up about it. She says, I didn't want one-on-one time with her like that anyway. Gary agrees, and they go to open her birthday presents. Christina gives her a special gift and tells Leah, I didn't give you life, but life gave me you. I never knew I can love someone who's not my child like I love you. So I got you something special, and she gets her a birthstone ring, and they both hug. I can't even hate on that. I think it was extremely sweet and cute. Christina is honestly like a saint in this whole situation, and they're super lucky to have her. Tyler wonders why Amber doesn't want to be with her own kids. He says, how does that not fire up your soul? So poetic, Tyler. Not Amber Portwood he's talking about, by the way. He's talking about his sister, Amber. Portwood apparently gets a free pass for some unknown reason. They act like they're still friends. Nova overhears Tyler talking about Butch and Amber, and she asks him, why did you not have a dad? He went to jail. What's that? It's what happens when you steal from a store, for example. Oh, well that's stupid. Do you miss your dad? You got another dad. He's a nice person now. And Tyler's like, he's always been nice, but he's sick. Addiction is an illness. Cheyenne talks to an organization called Color of Change. Corey, of course, shows up. I'm sure it's totally for the racial injustice education and not for the screen time. The lady tells them to use their privilege to be an ally, which is kind of a weird way to put it. I thought the whole point was that they don't have the same privilege as white people. An ally is like what you would call a white person supporting that, right? Or maybe this lady's just trying to say, I know you got money, Cheyenne, let's see those donations. Corey says he was raised by the white side of his family, so how does he create that exposure for whiteys? She says, education. Let's go through this so that Ryder doesn't have to talk about it in her lifetime. Mackenzie talks to her friends about how much they don't like Josh. That's understandable, but I mean, they better get used to it. Josh is a more consistent figure in Mackenzie's life than head wraps are in Amber's life. Kayla says, we're not upset for you. We're nervous for you. You rushed back into this without working on yourself. It's like you didn't even move. There was basically no point because you brought the problem with you. I mean, yeah, but now they can fight by the beach. There'll be a significantly prettier backdrop for all their screaming matches. I know, but Josh just came really fast and he was so excited. We're talking about Josh moving here, Mackenzie, not the conception of your kids. Josh wanted to change, I believe it. But then I sit and think, and you're right, we didn't go through the right motions. And I get it, if I was my friend, I wouldn't want me with Josh. I just wish I could feel peace in my decision. Macy is not too excited about going out to dinner with the kids because their kids are being annoying. But when she realizes the kids are not coming along and she sees her friends from inside, like, hey girl, she realizes that Taylor set it up. He drops her off and she looks, well, as happy as Macy ever looks. She's not very emotional. She says, I owe you when I get home. During the girls' night, Macy reveals she goes to therapy once a week and still can't handle any loud sounds. Anything that sounds like a gunshot is not good to me. It's true PTSD and it triggers flashbacks. There ain't shit that scares me, but that time I legit thought I was gonna die. I believe there's a reason for everything, and I'm just looking forward to the day when I realize why this happened to me. My nightmares are really bad. I had one where Bentley was in the car at the gas station and it was awful. Full-blown, waking up, can't breathe, had a panic attack. The silver lining is I'm alive, but I'm never going inside a gas station again. All I can say is I'm so glad that Macy has Taylor and didn't stay with Ryan. I mean, imagine if she had gone through the shooting with Ryan as her boyfriend. Like, would he even care? Probably say something like, you didn't die, Macy, calm down. Can't see him scheduling a girls' night either. As for nowadays, I'm sure he didn't even call to check if the mother of his child was okay. Strong doubt. Tyler is in disbelief at what a loser his sister is. He says, being a dad myself, how could you not want to be around kids? Hearing about how she abandons her kids brings up memories to me. I don't even know how to be one because my dad was never around. I actually disagree with that. I think Tyler's a pretty good dad. He might be a little hard on himself. Tyler considers going to therapy, but says he almost feels done with it. I've done talk therapy my whole life. It hasn't helped. You can see Kate perk up like, therapy? Therapy? Ah, yes, my field of specialty. I'll have you know I spent like 3 of the last 5 years away at a therapy facility. I basically have a therapy degree. But what she actually says is, have you done legit trauma work? I have. I'll support you if you do it. He says, maybe. It's not fair to my kids to have a half-wounded parent. Next is Amber. I didn't go to Leah's party because I want time together, just the two of us. Again, Amber, why not both? Or if Leah doesn't want to see you alone, maybe just take whatever you can get because any time spent with your daughter should be valued. No, I'm a big baby and I want to see her on my terms. She calls her brother Bubby or Sean, and I'm not gonna lie, I was fully expecting her brother to take her side as usual, but no, even her brother realizes that Amber's totally wrong and he goes off. He says, what about the pain that Leah experienced over your absence? I wasn't absent. I can't do anything about what my exes did. You were absent. I will be absent if there's stuff that she didn't need to be around, like drugs. You can't be mad at her. I already been there without cameras. They can keep running their mouths behind my back, but they did not do their part. They told her lies. It takes a lot of work to make up for 12 years. You think I'm an idiot? I wasn't gone for 12 years, and I was there more than once or twice a week. Wow, congratulations. She can't do this to me. Don't look at your mom and say, I don't have a bond with you. Honestly, go Sean for actually seeing the light here. Amber clearly didn't like it, but I feel like he's one of the only people who can get through to her. Of course, she still just got angry, but still, maybe hearing it from her brother will make it real to her. We can only hope. Or not, because she of course went on Instagram Live after this to rant about Christina being a whore. Oh, Amber, you'll never change. And that's all for this episode of Teen Mom OG. What do you think of Amber's denial? Make sure to leave a comment down below. Make sure to subscribe for more Teen Mom recaps every week.